Okay, guys, let's take a look at this assignment. I added a little video to help you through a couple of them, but I'm just going to outline it and it might be a little clearer for you. So after we're going to zooming to Christmas. And so you are on the career track assignment right here with the videos. Do a good job on those videos. Come on, do a good job on them. I think that you can really, it will be really interesting for me to read what you choose. And if you really roll your sleeves up, you can do some good higher level thinking. That's going to be necessary if we're really going to get some work done here. Secondly, is this continue the track, okay? And then this assignment, what it does is it is going to have you take a focus on those three careers and go a little bit deeper on it. And so this video here is going to help you with these 1, 2, 3, 4 questions, because these 4 questions they might be a little bit difficult to understand. You might not need the help, but it's here for you if you need it. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you move on with the other ones, and I think that these are self-explanatory. I think the 5 and 6, you watch a video. It's really a cool little video, actually, about college debt. That is kind of interesting, so you can do that. And then there's a podcast from Planet Money. I'm not sure if you had this last year. We got so screwed up with COVID. Some of you did, some of you didn't in econ. But this idea of college majors is important. And then one more question on college majors that makes you do a little bit of digging. So there's 10 more questions, and you're going to go back to your 3 careers a couple times on this assignment. So just to help you out, so that you can understand primarily how to do number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, and here from the Brookings Institute, major decisions what graduates earn over a lifetime. This is new material. I found this 2020. This is updated. And so what it's going to do is going to give you good information on what you can expect from a career in regards to salary. And remember, if you have salary, you most likely have good health care and good benefits. Those things are all significant when you're looking for a career. And so I think it's a good place for us to start. And so let's start there. Okay, we go and we click here and open up the Brookings Institute. It's a really reputable organization. And so I fully trust this information for anything to do with economics. Okay, what do we got here? First, we'll look at the reading. The earnings potential of bachelor's degree graduates with no education is uniformly above the associate degree. The typical or median bachelor's degree earns about $68,000 at a career peak. So at the age 30, you peak in your earnings. That's kind of wild, isn't it? At the age of 30, wow. At least you do for an associate degree peaks at 33, but the average graduate of the bachelor's degree, if you take all of the bachelor's degrees and you take the median, it's about $68,000, whereas an associate's degree is $49,000, and we go down. So let's look at this. Let's bring this thing up. I don't know if you know how to read these graphs or anything, so let's take a look at them. What we have is we have 4 different criteria. High school degree only, $35,000 at the age of 30, right here. That's how you read that. You see, it's a pretty flat line. It's a pretty flat line because you don't have skills, unskilled labor. Okay, an associate's degree. Some college, no degree, moves up a little bit. Let's say you went to MCC for a year, or you went to GVSU for a year, or you went for a couple years part-time, but you didn't get a certificate or a degree. You're going to get more on average at 30. The average income would be $42,000, which is up from 35, but still substantially lower than average of all bachelor's majors, which is a 4-year degree at $68,000. Associate's degree, which would be a community college degree, at $48,000. And so you can see that not only is this an increase in pay at the age of 30, a substantial increase of pay. So from the average of all bachelor's majors into the high school degree, come on, that is $33,000 a year. It's a lot of money. And come on, also with that is going to be health care, and is going to be vacation time and pension and a lot of other things. So what we're trying to do here is look, does it make sense to go to college? Sure, it's expensive. Sure, it's expensive. But your payoff in terms of, I don't know, quality of life, is it worth it? And I also, the only thing that I don't like about this graph is it doesn't include the trades. I would include the trades in with, depending on how in-depth the trade is. I mean, if you would, I think you throw the trade up to average of all majors if it's an apprenticeship, in a 5-year apprenticeship. So there's a difference between an electrician and a hairstylist. An electrician is a skilled trade. It is substantially a 5-year investment on time, and you are going to be up in the $68,000 range. If you're in a 2-year apprenticeship or a 1-year apprenticeship, you're going to be substantially lower, probably closer to an associate's degree, because it's similar to an associate's degree. So the more complex your human capital, normally the more income you're going to get. Now, it's true with 2 exceptions. Okay, look at this. Median earnings of bachelor's degree are higher than median earnings of high school graduates. It's true with 2 exceptions: early childhood education as well as visual and performing arts. So if you're working with small children or you are in drama, you're still going to have extremely low wages. Those are not high-paying degrees. What else do we have? Figure 2 below shows the distribution of cumulative earnings over the career, with the green line marking the distribution for bachelor's degree average for all majors, blue, purple, and orange. Let's take a look at this. Okay, now this is adding up all of your earnings over the span of a lifetime. Because remember, if you're making $33,000 more at the age of 30, well, then you're making $33,000 more at the age of 31, and 32, and 33, and 34, and 35, and it adds up. And so the total average lifetime earnings of an individual with a bachelor's degree at the age of 50, so we're adding up all of their income over time, would be $1.28 million. A high school degree only, diploma only, it's not really a degree, would be $6.63 million, so $600,000. That's a $600,000 difference at the age of 50. Now, you move all the way up to 80, so we go here, and what are we at? We're at, like, because over here you got the dollars, $2.2 million, as opposed to $1 million. So you could say over the course of a lifetime, if you reach a ripe old age of 80, that your income on average by data will be over $1 million more with a college degree 4-year than a high school diploma. And this is where a college 4-year degree substantially impacts your lifetime earnings. As you can see, the rise of the graph, the rise of the slope, is much, much higher in a 4-year degree. It is substantially higher for some college associate degree over a high school diploma. But when you are going into a 4-year degree, you're now getting into substantially more money and substantially better benefits. If you look At majors, major is your field of study. Lifetime earnings for workers in early childhood education is $770,000. Whereas in aerospace engineering, it's $2.28 million. There's a big difference between those numbers, and it's the complexity of the human capital again. It's true that majors that emphasize quantitative reasoning, numbers, tend to have graduates with highest lifetime earnings. Look at the 5 highest earning majors at the median. All engineering, aerospace, energy, extraction, chemical and biological engineering, computer engineering, and electrical engineering. And majors that train students to work with children or provide counseling have the lowest earnings. And now where does that then leave us with the trades? Let's go back here. Remember, if we go back to this and we consider a highly skilled trade, an electrician, 5 years on the average to go from a beginner, a novice, to a journeyman, I think that you put that in with the average of all majors in the bachelor's, because you're doing 4 or 5 years of building human capital. So you're up in this range up here. Whereas if you are in a lesser trade, then you would be more down in the associate range, which then we come here. And I think at these levels, you would find that the trades would coincide with the depth of the amount of learning that you had within that trade. So that's how you read these two graphs. I think these two graphs are fascinating. And I think what do you walk away with these two graphs from? Well, one, come on, the more complex the education you have to do, the more money you make. Boom. The better healthcare you have, and the better benefits you have. 2, the trades are going to be as lucrative to a certain extent as higher education. Now, when you get into the high range of higher education, into engineering, no, the trades are not going to go up into those numbers. But unless you are specialized like an underwater welder. But most people that are in the trades are going to be in electricians, plumbers, carpenters, and not whatnot. And so your level of education is going to coincide with the graphs as well. And the more education you have, whether it's formal or informal, the more career earnings you're going to have. So you want to be on a green line. Now, does that mean that you'll be happy on the green line because money makes everything work? No, that doesn't mean that. But it also means that if you have a higher income, you're going to have less problems in building a Maslow's pyramid that is satisfactory for you and your family. And having money doesn't ensure happiness, but having a lack of money makes life more difficult. So there you go. That's how we interpret those graphs. And then I think the final thing you really walk away from this is the quantitative, where is that line? Yeah, right here. This is really important to know. Quantitative reasoning. Numbers, math, science. Those are the highest lifetime earnings. And when you start to get in, you look at the highest paid jobs in America, all engineering, aerospace, energy and extraction, chemical, biological, computer, and electrical, along with medicine. So there you go. Now what I want to do is I want to go to the second thing here. Okay, we go to this one, the Hamilton Project. The Hamilton Project is an offshoot of the Brookings Institute. So let's take a look at this. This is cool. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you how to play around with it. It again will give you some ideas on what you can look for in occupations. It's going to take, you're going to be able to take 3 locations and take an occupation. Let's take an occupation. Let's say, a lot of you have been looking at nursing, dentists, health and physicians, optometrists, registered nurse. Okay, let's look at a registered nurse. Okay, what this is going to do, we can choose now 3 locations. And so let's for sure choose our area. Michigan non-metropolitan. That means that Michigan non-metropolitan is non-city, non-urban. So it's all over Michigan. Michigan non-metropolitan. That would include Muskegon. So this is the national average of what nurses make, $62,722. And in the Muskegon area, it would be $55,731. That's kind of cool to know. Let's try, let's put Seattle in there. I used to live in Seattle. My guess, here's my guess, is that you'll make more. You're in an urban area, the competition's higher, the cost of living's higher. In order to get a nurse, you're going to have to pay more. So let's see what they do in Seattle. Boom. Oh, wow, look at that. Much higher. So $70,000 a year in the Seattle-Tacoma area, where I used to live. The national average is $62,000, and then down to Muskegon at the $53,000 level. Now, Grand Rapids has an extensive medical infrastructure with all of those hospitals down there. Let's see what Grand Rapids does. This will be interesting. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Boom. Oh, Grand Rapids. Wow. Grand Rapids is less. Look at that. That is a shocker to me. The average income in Grand Rapids is less than it is in Muskegon for nursing. Wow. What's one of the most expensive cities in the country? New York City. So let's get rid of these and let's just see how we compare. Let's see New York City. New York City. Boom. This has got to be higher. Come on, would be higher. Oh yeah, substantially higher. $80,000 for an average salary for nursing in New York City. I think Washington, D.C. is also really expensive. Boom. Washington, D.C. also above the national average. National average is $62,000. Washington, D.C. is $70,000. Now let's just go somewhere real rural in South and see what the difference is here. So like we go down to, let's go to Arkansas, non-metropolitan. Or we go out into the plains. No, okay, let's go Arkansas. Boom, Arkansas is way down there. $50,690 as opposed to New York City, $80,000. Costs a lot more money to live in New York City. I wonder what it's like out here where it's hard to find. Yeah, look at this. This is interesting. This is interesting. You go out now, but you go out into Wyoming, and it's more than Muskegon or Grand Rapids. Why? Because they have a shortage of nurses. So what I want you to do is I want you to answer these questions. I think this is a fascinating little graph here. So you just play around with it. And what I want you to do, go here. This is what the question is. Go here. Play around with the careers and locations. Take the 3 careers you watched in Career Tech. Identify 3 places in the USA. The same for all 3 careers. See what you find. Provide specifics below. What did you learn? So I really want you to play around with this. In fact, I want to see depth on all of these. The only way you are going to really dig into your future is with higher level thinking. These cannot be 1 and 2 word answers. This needs to be thought. So see what you think. I'm really anxious to see how you come forth. You still have a few days on the career track. Dig into this unit. If you can see the goal down at the end of the road, it makes the process to get there so much more effective. So good luck, and let me know if you need any help.